ओम सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्रुति स्मृति पुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शंकरं लोकशंकरं शंकरं शंकराचार्य केशवं बादरायणं सूत्र भाष्य कृतौ वंदे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। थैंक यू जी। बुद्धिर्ज्ञानम असम। We have seen that even though Bhagavan is nirvishesham, but he is always worshipped in the form, as associated with the form, as Sabhisesham. 10th chapter, 4th verse, we have to do today. We just started 10th chapter and then we left the class. Today we are seeing the 4th verse, 10th chapter. Even though Bhagavan is nirvishesham, but still he has to be worshipped in with Savisesham, as Savisesham. Sagunopasana. This is called Saviseshopasana or Sagunopasana. Even those people who think that the Bhagavan is to be understood mentally, those who don't like the forms, even they worship him in the form of the thought only. You have to have the thought, or you have to have a form. You have to associate. You can only think about him and worship him. You can think of him and pray to him. You can think of him and in order to think, only a form can be thought. Or some even nirvishesham is thought of by many people. Even as thought of it is cannot be nirvishesham. You can be nirvishesham. You cannot think of nirvishesham. You can be nirvishesham. You can be nirgunam. You cannot think of nirgunam. And therefore, even those people who say that form should not be used to worship are wrong. The form is always necessary to worship, to pray to. For anything, a form is necessary. Brahman should be associated with a form. And therefore, without the form, you cannot worship form. You cannot worship the Lord. The nirvisesh cannot be worshipped. And therefore, the form is, if form is not nirvisesham, if form is savisesham, what is the explanation for the form? The form also needs to be explained. The form cannot be, the finite cannot be explained as a parallel to the infinite. The finite cannot be explained as parallel to the infinite. If God is infinite, if truth is infinite, then definitely the universe cannot be parallel to the Lord. And therefore it is inclusive, it is included in the Lord. Like the finite is included in the infinite. The infinite is Krishna. The infinite includes the finite. In the same manner, the form is included in the formless. The formless includes the form. And that is the explanation for the form. And therefore, in every little form, there is the nirvisesham, the formless is abiding in every form. And therefore, the form is used to worship the Lord. Otherwise, without the form, you cannot worship the Lord. You can pray to the Lord. With the formless, you can be the formless. You can be the formless. You cannot think of the formless. And in the prayer and in the karma yoga and in prayer and worship, they always think of the formless. When you think of the formless, you can only think of the form. And to think of the formless, in order to think of the formless, you have to think of the form G. Without thinking of the form, you cannot worship, you cannot pray to. And therefore, in order to worship the form, in order to worship the formless, you have to use the form, and therefore that is necessary. That is necessary. And therefore here it is next in the verse number 4 it says, Buddhi. In everybody, if man is born with a good mind, good intellect, good intelligence, then he is called Buddhi. That is called Buddhi. That Buddhi is Bhagwan's. It is Bhagwan's blessing only. Later on in the next verse, it is going to Mattayeva Pratagvidaha. Mattayeva, verse number 5, it is said. These two verses have to be read as together. Mattayeva Pratagvidaha. They are different individuals from me. When he says from me, that me is used in the fifth case. From me is the fifth case. Ne is first case. Ko is first case, second case. Ke dwara, third case. Ke liye, fourth case. From, fifth case. And that fifth case is always in the form of nirgamana. Nirgamana means it is like the fruit is falling from a branch. From a branch. Shakhayaha palam padati. Or apadana panchami, it can be used as the upadana karanam. From me means like from the waves are from the water. The waves are from the water means they are made of water. Similarly, the universe is from God. Mattayev Pratyagvedah means all individuals are from me. When Bhagavan says, all individual jivas are from me, when Bhagavan says, it means only Bhagavan is the upadanam for all the jivas. The body is made of the formless, and the thought that I am the body is also made of the formless. It is made of the independent of thought. The thoughts are made of the thought free, the consciousness. And therefore, here it says, and therefore when a person is buddhi, when a person is endowed with the buddhi, if it is a dull buddhi or intelligent, very bright buddhi, it is something that is from the Lord. It is made of consciousness only. Mattayeva Pratagvidaha. Bhagavan says, it is from me. Presupposing consciousness is the buddhi. Jnanam. Jnanam also presupposes consciousness. You can't have the jnanam without presupposing the jnanam, without presupposing awareness. How can there be a jnanam without presupposing consciousness? There cannot be any jnanam. Even to be aware of the tree, you have to be aware. And to know the tree, you have to be aware of the tree. To know the tree, you have to be aware of the tree. And therefore, buddhi, jnanam, asammoha, non-attachment. Non-attachment also you require. You have to understand that the person to whom you are attached is non-eternal, and you are non-eternal. And why should I get non-eternity? Why should I be attached to non-eternal? In this manner, you think, even to think, that thinking presupposes consciousness. That thinking presupposes consciousness. Non-eternity presupposes consciousness. Because everything, whatever you say, is in the form of knowledge. And that knowledge presupposes consciousness. Everything, whether it is, call it non-eternity, call it eternity, call it an object, everything is seen, every object is perceived, and therefore every perception presupposes consciousness. And therefore buddhi, jnanam, asammoha, attachment. Attachment also is not very good. Attachment also is when the person to, just as the body identification creates problem, just in the same manner attachment also creates problem. Attachment also creates problem. Just as one is identification, the other is attachment. Identification means that I am the body. That is called identification. That I am the body, and that creates the whatever. If the body has any problem, then I have the problem. In the same manner, attachment also. If I am attached to a person, then I am attached to a person. And if that person has dukkha, then I have dukkha, and therefore attachment is not good, because whatever problems that person has, the same problems become my problems. and therefore attachment is asammoha. That is also in the form of knowledge. Attachment also, you can't have attachment without knowing that you are attached. And therefore that attachment is a jnanam. That asammoha, attachment, that being a jnanam, it presupposes consciousness. Attachment, kshama. The next is kshama. Kshama means the accommodation. Accommodation is also knowledge. Verse number is 4G, 10th chapter, verse number 4. Please, kshama. Kshama means accommodation. Kshama means accommodation. Even though kshama can mean forgiveness, kshama is also interpreted as accommodation. Kshama is accommodation. If you accommodate, then you don't have to tolerate. You don't have to accommodate. If you have accommodation, then you have no likes and dislikes in this manner. That is also in the form of knowledge, and that presupposes awareness. And therefore, kshama, satyam. Satyam is, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, I am going to say in half a shloka, whatever is said in crores of scriptural books. He says, Shlokardhyana pravakshami yaduktam grandhakotibihi. Shlokardhyana means in half a shloka I am going to say whatever is said in crores of scriptures, crores of books. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Brahma is the truth and Jagat is Mithya. Jivo Brahma eva, and man is indeed Brahman. Man minus the body is indeed consciousness only, is solely consciousness. Is solely consciousness. And that soul consciousness is indeed the truth. And therefore, the Satyam, that is called Satyam, Brahma Satyam. Brahman is the Satyam. And that Satyam is man minus the body is nothing but consciousness. And that consciousness is indeed the truth, Satyam. Even Mithya is not separate from the Satyam. Even Mithya is non-separate from Satyam. The Mithya is made of Satyam. The Mithya is made of Satyam. The snake is made of the rope. The snake is made of the rope. The snake is Mithya. The Mithya cannot be parallel to Satyam. The false cannot be parallel to, a bluff cannot be parallel to the truth. The bluff is a distortion of the truth. In the same manner here also, the Mithya is a distortion of the truth. Satyam, Damaha, Shamaha. Damaha means Indriya Nigraha. You are becoming angry, you control your hands, you control your feet, you control your body. Controlling the body and the organs of action is what is called damaha. And that is also that is also in the form of knowledge. You cannot have damaha without knowing that you are doing damaha. You can't have control of the hands and feet without the knowledge of it. And therefore, that knowledge presupposes consciousness. And therefore, damaha. Shamaha means mental control. When you have mental control also, it is your knowledge. And that knowledge presupposes consciousness. And therefore, damaha, shamaha. Sukham, dukkham. Sukham means pleasure. Dukkham means pain. And sukham also is in the form of the thought. Dukkham also is in the form of the thought. And both of them are presuppose consciousness. That everything presupposes consciousness. It is not presupposing the consciousness will, the will of consciousness. Everything presupposes the presence of consciousness. Presence of consciousness. This you have to understand. God is a presence. God is presence. God is not a willer. God is a presence. And therefore, bhava, the presence, abhava, the presence of the world is a presence of the world. When you see that there is a presence of the world, that is your knowledge. Knowledge presupposes consciousness. Sukham presupposes consciousness. Dukham presupposes consciousness. Abhava, when you have the entertain the thought that the world is, the universe is absent, like when you wake up from the deep sleep state, you say that there was no universe in the deep sleep state. And that thought of the absence of the universe also is something presupposes consciousness. That also presupposes. That is also a thought. Thought means knowledge. Thought means knowledge. Knowledge presupposes consciousness. And therefore, bhayam cha, abhayameva cha. Fear and the courage both depend upon, both are, when you have the fear, you have the knowledge of the fear. And that presupposes awareness. Abhayam, courage, when you are courageous, you have the knowledge, and that knowledge presupposes consciousness. Abhayam evacha. Abhayam means courage. Similarly, ahimsa. When you are ahimsa, the ahimsa means the non-violence. Hinsa means violence. Ahimsa means hinsam na kuryat. It is always said, don't be violent. Don't be violent. In Karmakanda it is said, don't be violent, because violence is something is not correct. Violence disturbs your relationship with others. Violence disturbs your relationship with others, and violence makes others unhappy, and that gives you papa, and therefore himsam na kuryat, it is said. In Vidhi Pradesha, that do's and in the book of do's and don'ts, it is said, don't commit violence. If you can commit, if you are committing violence, you should be able to not. You should be able not to commit violence. Also, that is your freedom. If you are able to commit violence, then you should be able to not to commit violence, and that is your freedom. Whatever the freedom to do good things is what is called freedom. Freedom to do bad things is not freedom. It is only a bondage. Freedom to do bad things is not freedom. It is only a bondage. But freedom to do good things is freedom. And therefore here it is said, ahimsa, the non-violence. When you are non-violent, you have the knowledge. You have that is also in the form of the thought. Ahimsa is in the form of the thought. Ahimsa, when the knowledge, when there is thought or knowledge, it presupposes awareness. Samatha, the oneness. The oneness also is in the form of the thought. Samatha he is the same as me. He is as the body, he is the same as me. That is what is called samatha. It is said, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Kavi Hastini Shunichaiva Shvapake Cha Pandita Samadarshina. Samatha. Samatha means, in a society, samatha, without the samatha, it is not possible to live with others. In a social setup, there has to be samatha, and therefore it is very difficult. Wherever there is equality, that is why Shankaracharya, when he was coming after bath from Ganga, a Chandala was standing in front, on the way. Somebody has said, his disciples told him, Gacha Gacha, please go, please leave the way, give the way to my teacher. My teacher is coming after bath. He says, what do you want to want? Which one do you want me to want to? Which me do you want me? Do you want to go? Is it the body? Your body is made of 5 elements. My body is also made of 5 elements. And therefore, there should not be any difference. If you say Atma should go, where is Atma not there? Atma is present in everything. Atma is, everything is present in Atma. And therefore, your Atma and my Atma are one and the same. When we transcend the body, we are the same. And therefore, why should I leave? Why should I leave this place and go to which place? And please tell me. And then the Shankaracharya said, Chandalostu, whether he is a Chandala or a Brahmana, he is my guru, he is my teacher, he said. The disciples were angry, but the guru said, Shankaracharya said, whether he is a Chandala or Brahmana, Chandalostu Satu Guru Brahmana Dujostu Guru Tesham Anishamama. My thinking is that he is my teacher, he has opened my eyes. Because the form samatha, that is called samatha. You have to be objective. Samatha means you have to be objective also. Objective. What is the objectivity? Samatha is knowledge, and knowledge presupposes consciousness. The table cannot have knowledge. About the table, you can have knowledge because you are a conscious being, and therefore that consciousness minus the form is indeed the truth. Consciousness minus the form is indeed the truth. And therefore that consciousness is yourself. Every jiva is consciousness minus the form. And therefore ahimsa, samatha, tushtihi, satisfaction. Satisfaction is tushtihi means satisfaction. And that is also a thought, presupposing consciousness. Tushtihi, whenever you are satisfied, you know that you are satisfied. When you are eating food, when you are full, you know that you are full. There is a thought that of fullness. That I can't eat more. I can't eat more. And that is a thought. And thought presupposes consciousness. And therefore, tushti, tapaha. Tapaha means when a person does the tapas. Tapas means, tapas does not mean going and living in a cold place. That it is not tapas. Tapas means swabhavika. Controlling the swabhavika pravrittis. Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. These emotions, controlling these emotions, emotional coolness, emotional control is what is called tapasji. If you are angry, you control the anger. If you are jealous, you control your jealousy. You control, if you feel hatred, you control your hatred. You control your malice. You control kama, krodha, control your desire. This is what is called tapas, please. Tapas does not mean withstanding the body, withstanding the cold, or withstanding the heat, or withstanding the pain of the body. That is not tapasya. Tapasya means withstanding, controlling. You should be able to control your anger, because that tapasya is necessary in the society. If there is no tapasvi in the society, then it is a problem. We have to be tapasvis. We have to control our emotions. And therefore, attachments also we have to control. And therefore, it is said, the tapaha. Tapaha. And when you control, it is your thought, and then it is your knowledge. And therefore, knowledge presupposes consciousness. Tapas. Danam. Danam means whenever you give something to somebody, you have the knowledge that I am giving something to somebody. And that danam, Shraddha, it is given with Shraddha. Ashraddhaya adeyam, Shri adeyam. Give it in plenty. Give it in plenty. And therefore, Shri adeyam, Hri adeyam. Give it with modesty. Bhiyadeyam, Samvidadeyam, with the knowledge that it will bring me the result. That no dhanam will go without the result. Dhanam will always bring you the result. Goodness always brings you the good result. The positive thinking always brings you the positive result. The negative thinking always brings you the negative result. This is everybody knows the positive, and therefore goodness always brings the good result. Badness brings the bad result. And giving is a good thing. Helping the other person who doesn't have sharing whatever you have with others is good. And this has to be inculcated in the children right from the beginning. Sharing is something that is very good for the children. Sharing with other children is necessary. Dhanam. And that dhanam also presupposes consciousness. Yashaha, fame, reputation, good reputation if there is a reputation, then that is also knowledge. If a person has got kirti, then he has the knowledge, and that knowledge presupposes consciousness. Ayashaha. Ayashaha means bad reputation, bad name. Bad name, that is also presupposes consciousness. If a person has got problems with the yashas, and that problem, he has got the yashas, and he has got the knowledge that he is badly reputed, and that bad reputation also, bad name also, is his knowledge, and knowledge presupposes consciousness. Bhavanti bhavaha. These are all happening from me. Bhavanti bhavaha bhutanam. These are all happening in the jivas. Bhavaha bhutanam. Bhutana means the created, the jivas. The jivas, it is there in the form of the jivas. And the jivas themselves are a creation. And the created things have another creation. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. They're all found in the jivas. And the jivas are themselves are creations. Matta eva pratagvidaha. They are different phenomena taking place from me. I am the truth of all of them. I am the material cause. Truth means the material cause. I am the material source of everything. I am the material cause of. I am the material cause of all the various phenomena. What are the various phenomena? Buddhi, jnana, sammoha, kshama, satyam, dhamma, shama, sukham, dukkham, bhavo, bhava, bhayam cha, bhayam eva cha, ahimsa, samata, tushti, tapaha, dhanam, yashaha, ayasha. All these various factors are from me. They are made of me. And therefore, Bhagavan is the material cause. You have to think always that your body is made of, the truth is not locked up in your body. Your body is in the truth. And your thought also, the thought that I am the body is also is in the truth. And therefore, the truth is the material cause. And that you have to think. But the truth is not in the body is in the truth. The body is in the truth. The truth is not locked up in the body. The body is in the truth. Like the wave, there is no water in the wave. The wave, the form has got its beginning and its end. And water has no beginning and end. And therefore, water is not in the wave. Wave is in the water. Waveness is found in the water. Ahimsa, bhutana, matta eva pratyavada. These various phenomena are found in the Atma only. Therefore, they are made of Atma only. Pratyavada, these various phenomena are made of the me. Matta eva pratyavadaha. You can say they are made of the truth, made of Bhagavan, or you can say they are made of consciousness. They are made of, because consciousness is the Lord. Presupposing consciousness is everything. Every perception presupposes consciousness. Every thought presupposes consciousness. Every experience presupposes consciousness. And minus consciousness, you can't have any experience, you can't have a knowledge, you can't have a thought, etc. And therefore, call it experience, call it knowledge, everything presupposes awareness. Minus awareness is there in the table also, but it is the underlying reality. It is with which it is made, and then here it is directly felt, and therefore here consciousness as consciousness is felt in everyone. Consciousness as consciousness is experienced by every jiva. Every jiva is that consciousness. Jiva, you don't have consciousness, you are conscious. I am conscious of the things you say, not that you have consciousness. It is wrong to say. Even though you can say, it is wrong to say. It is wrong to say. Even though you say that, I have consciousness, but it is wrong to say. You don't have consciousness. You are conscious. You are conscious of Mother Maharshaya Saptapurve. And not only these things are made of consciousness, even Sapta Rishis, who are considered to be a lot of gotras are there. Bhargo Gotram, Bhrigu Gotram, Pulastya Gotram. In this manner, there are a lot of Maharshis. Those Maharshis are Bhrigu, Marichi, Atri, Pulastya, Pulaha, Kratuhu, and Vasishta. These are all various rishis. These rishis are indeed, they are called Sapta Rishis. These Sapta Rishis are also, Rishi is a Jiva. Rishanti Jananti iti Rishayaha. Those who understand the truth are called Rishihi. Those who understand the truth is called, those who Mantra Drashta or Tattva Drashta is called Rishihi. Rishanti Jananti iti Rishayaha. Rishihi. Rishati Janati iti Rishihi. But these Saptarishis are also Jivas. They also have the embodiment. They also have the bodies. They are not Nirvisesha. They are also Visesha. They have an Upadhi, the body, and therefore they have the body. And their bodies are also made of the same truth. Their bodies are also made of the same truth. They are also from these same five elements. And they are also the same elementals. And therefore, Maharshis, and they also had the thought that I am the body. They began life with the thought that I am the body. Later on, they might have understood that is different. But then that thought is also mithya. That later on they might have understood. But to begin with, they had the thought that I am the body. And that itself, the body is made of the truth. And that thought also is made of the truth. And therefore, Sapta Purve, Chatvaraha Manavaha. And there are the four Manus. Manus are also made of don't think of Manus. Manu as a Manusmriti. Manus means they are their ancestors. Yetam Madbhavaha, Manasajat. There are indeed Manus are who are the Manus? They are indeed Sarvani, Dharma Sarvani, Daksha Sarvani, or Savarna. Savarna. Varnashrama Dharma is not made of Manus, please. It is all Varna is a thought, and it presupposes awareness. Ashrama is a thought, and that also presupposes awareness. And therefore, everything presupposes awareness. Awareness is the underlying truth of everything. Underlying truth of the truth of everything. It is called Manavastudha. Chatvaraha Manavastudha. Tatha similarly, the four kinds of Manus. The seven kinds of Maharshis are made of me, the truth, and the four kinds of Manus are made of the same truth. Are made of the same truth. And all the human beings are the descendants of those four Manus. And the Manus are themselves are descendants of Parameshwara, and descendants of the truth. And therefore we are all the descendants of the truth only. Ji. Where there is no such a thing. Every living being is a descendant of the truth, is a consciousness. Even a Jugnu has a consciousness. Ji. Even Jugnu means what is Jugnu? Firefly. Firefly is also has a conscious, and that consciousness is the truth. Consciousness. That upadhi is less. Upadhi is, but it is consciousness. It is conscious of its surroundings, its body. It's a smallness. Smallness is not the truth. Bigness is not the truth. Even if it is big, if it is a size, and therefore big can become small. Small can become big. That is not a big thing. But the truth is infinite. And the truth being infinite, the small and it is inclusive of the small and the big. The truth is infinite. And therefore, madbhavaha manasa jataha. They're all in the form of perception. Madbhavaha. They're all in the form of me only. The madbhavaha. Manasa jataha. They're all perceptions. The manasa jataha. Yesham loka ima praja. And in the ime lokaha. And these people, these human beings, are nothing but the descendants of the same human, the same Manus, the four Manus. And the four Manus are made of the same truth. And therefore, human beings are descendants of the four Manus. And the four Manus are the descendants of the same truth. And therefore, all human beings are the descendants of the same truth. And being the descendants of the truth, they are the truth themselves. Being the descendants of the truth, they have the nature of being the truth. They have the nature of being the truth. Imah praja, I mean these people. These people are also the same truth. They are also of the same truth. And therefore, here it is said, Maharshaya Saptapurve Chatvaro Manavastata Madbhavaha Manasa Jataha Esham Loke Imah Prajaha. Loke means in this world, whatever human beings are there, they're all the descendants of these four Manus. And four Manus are nothing but four Manus are descendants of the same truth. And they are made of the same truth. And therefore, all human beings are made of the same truth. All human beings. In the olden days, they had that caste system and all that. Maybe it was useful in some time, and therefore they created it. It was a temporary thing. But then later on, but now it cannot be. It is not acceptable, and therefore it is that caste system is not acceptable. That it became caste. The Varnashrama dharma does not mean caste. It's not caste, please. They wrongly translated. Caste means iron caste. A Brahman, a Dhobi's son also will be a Dhobi. Aisa Bhagavan doesn't say. Well, I am the so, Jati he is created by me. It's not created by me also. And therefore, if it is created by him, what is the material with which he has created? The Brahmanas are made of the same truth. Kshatriyas are also made of the same truth. The Vaishyas are also made of the same truth. Sudras are also made of the same truth. And therefore, men are made of the same truth. Women are also made of the same truth. The thought that I am the body is the truth, is made of the truth. The body is made of the truth. And therefore, one doesn't have to think that Varnashrama Dharma is a caste. Varnashrama Dharma, Chaturvarnyam Maya Srishtam, Bhagavan says Chaturvarnyam, these four castes I have created, Chaturvarnyam Maya Srishtam, Gunakarma Vibhagashaha, by thinking. The right thinking, anyone who thinks correctly is a Brahmana, who thinks Rajoguna, the one who has more of desires, is called a Kshatriya. The one who thinks selfishly is called Vaishya. The one who wants to, the one who is lazy is called Shudra. But then all of them, that is, a Shudra son also can be a Brahmana by changing his thinking. Guna karma vibhagashaha. By karma, guna, by guna, they can, by changing the thinking, you can change your varna also. A Brahmana can become a Shudra can become a Brahmana. A Shudra can become a Kshatriya. A Shudra can become a Vaishya. A Vaishya can become a Kshatriya and a Brahmana. And a Kshatriya also can become a Brahmana. And a Brahmana also can become a Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra also. He can fall from his heights if his thinking is not good. If he, similarly, a Kshatriya also can fall from his heights if his thinking is not good. A Vaishya can also become a Shudra if his thinking is not good. A Shudra can be a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya if his thinking is right. And therefore, depending upon your thinking, you are judged. You are judged by the Lord by your thinking. You are judged by the Lord by your thinking, please. And therefore, your thinking is more important than your labels. Your labels are not important. Your thinking is important. In fact, the true manayeva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayo. Thinking alone is the reason for bondage. Thinking is the reason for moksha. And therefore, you should always be able to think correctly. Think correctly. Esham loka imah prajaha. Etam vibhutim yogam. This is what is called vibhuti yoga. Vibhutim cha yogam cha. It is a vibhuti. Vibhuti means anything that stands out is called vibhuti. Vibhuti. Some people have extraordinary skills. That is their vibhuti. In the same manner, Bhagavan also, anything that can stand out, like as he's going to say, the lion among the animals, etc. Later on, he's going to say Gangaji. Gangaji stands out among all the rivers. The prayer stands out among all the thoughts. The words, the prayerful words stand out among all the words. The prayerful thoughts stand out among all the thoughts. In this manner, it is said, Kapila, tapasya stands it stands out among all the thoughts, among all the actions. Tapasya, controlling the thoughts, controlling the emotions to stand out among all actions. In this manner, it is said, anything that is called that stands out is called vibhuti. Anything that stands out is called vibhuti. And that Bhagavan also stands out in the creation, stands out in the form of so many things. And therefore, Etam Vibhutim Yogam Cha. And it is yoga also. Yoga means unity also, it's oneness. It is Vibhuti, and when you pray to God, and you will make you peaceful. And when you make peaceful, then you can understand the oneness. And therefore, it is Vibhuti and it is oneness also. Vibhutim Yogam Cha Mama Yo Veti Tattvataha. And if a person understands me, my yoga and Vibhuti, the one who worships me, the one who prays in various Vibhutis, Mama Tattvataha, in actuality, if he understands me, in actuality, my Vibhuti and my yoga can understand in actuality. So Avikampena, without any disturbance in his mind, without any distraction in his mind, Avikampena, Yogena, with a peaceful mind, Yujate Tatra Nasam. He is connected with the truth. He understands the truth. Connected means he understands the truth. He will understand the truth. Na atra samshaya, there is no doubt in it. And therefore, if a person is peaceful in mentally, and that mental peace will only enable him to think, and thinking enables correct thinking, and correct thinking enables him to understand the truth. And ultimately, the discerning makes him understand the truth. And the more of it we will see in the next class. Thank you very much. Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you very much, Ji. Is it all right, Ji? If you please, all of you, all the students must come to the class, Ji, because if you don't come in numbers, then I don't get any boosting, Ji. The teacher also needs boosting, Ji. There is prasadam. There is a prasadam also, Ji. Prasadam. Who has brought?